Okay, in this video we're going to be focusing on making polygons, measuring their angles, and finding the sum of those angles. So let's start with, say you want to make a triangle. There's a couple ways to do that. The long way would just be to connect segments. I can have segment AB, then start from B again, BC, and then connect from C to A. That works just fine. One of our challenges that we're going to have is going to be adding up all the angles, measuring them out. You're going to be doing this for triangles, quadrilaterals, pentagons, etc. And you could use this method to make a quadrilateral or a pentagon if you wanted to. To measure its angle, you would click the angle measuring tool here. And you just need to trace out the angle you want to measure. So if I want to measure angle B, I trace from A to B to C. And then the measure of that angle comes up. If sometimes you can't see this because maybe it's covering up the picture or you have a line segment that's showing over it, just use the selection tool and you can drag it out, somewhere nearby when it's easier to see. Now let's say I'm going to continue this, go all the way around my triangle. I want to measure angle C. I want you to watch what happens when I trace from A to C to B. Oh, I didn't select my measure tool first. Let's go back. Select angle, go from A to C to B, and you see instead of measuring the acute angle, it gave us this 308-degree angle outside here. And the reason why it did that is because when I clicked on the vertices, I clicked on them in a counterclockwise motion. If I want to know this acute angle, angle BCA, I need to click on them in a clockwise motion. So B to vertex C to A, and now it's going to tell me the measurement of that angle is 51.89. If you have a lot of angles and you want to keep track of them, maybe right here it's difficult to see, well, where does one angle start and the other one begin? You can, say, right-click on an angle, change its settings. Maybe changing its color might make it easier to keep track of if you had, a really complicated picture with a lot of angles in it. So I could change this, and now it's really clear which angle is my 51.89-degree angle. You can see when they're labeling angles, they're using Greek letters. This is the standard throughout all math. Most angles are labeled with Greek letters. So we have beta, gamma, alpha, etc. here. So let's just continue on with our angle measures and get angle measure C, A, B. Okay, so you're going to be having to find the sum of angles, and you could go to your own just like pocket calculator right now and add up all of these measurements. But then it's going to say, well, what if it's a regular triangle? And you're going to be doing these for several different variations. So instead of having to type those in to your own calculator every single time, you can see that Geogebra has named these angles here. So what I'm going to do is go to the input bar and let Geogebra add these up. You can see it's labeled them with Greek letters, so I'm going to go to my Greek letter keyboard here. I have my delta angle, so I just go find this on the keyboard. Delta plus alpha, which is over here, plus gamma. Let's find where's the gamma. There it is. Okay. Now I can hit enter, and so now, as expected, that sum came to 180, and even if I change my triangle, it would be changing the sum with it, but as you know, for any triangle, no matter how it is, it should come to 180 degrees. And so, no matter how we change it, it's always staying 180, so you'd say this is something that seems invariant for any type of triangle we have. Okay, so that was a rather time-consuming way to make polygons. So the polygon tool is helpful, especially when it comes time to measure the angles, and here's why. So that didn't save us too much time, but here's the part where it really makes a difference. When I want to measure the angles, I just select the angle tool and click once inside the polygon, and it will automatically tell me the measurement of each angle. If I wanted to find the sum of these, I could go to the little input bar here and add them up. It's kind of difficult to see. They are, so you might want to move them out then we could go through and add all of them up. Also, if you wanted to make a regular polygon, we could just select the regular polygon tool. It says select 2 points, then enter the number of vertices. So I select 2 points that are going to show the side length of my polygon. Let's say I want to make a triangle. Click OK. Now it gives me a regular triangle. Also, if you wanted to change the side lengths of your polygon, you can start with the 2 given points that you made from the beginning and just drag it and you can get a different size polygon. You're going to be doing a lot of polygons. Say we started with these few and I'm running out of room. I could have just made smaller polygons to begin with, or you could just zoom out and then drag those up to the corner and now have more space here. You might want to be organized here, keep all your triangles, then all your quadrilaterals, pentagons, hexagons, etc. Okay, let's say, also let's just do a little bit of angle measuring practice. If I had parallel lines that were cut by a transversal and I wanted to measure the angles formed. Let's go ahead and make our parallel lines. Select the point and the line I want it parallel to. I'm going to make my transversal. Okay. So now here's the thing. You can see that when you made this transversal going through the parallel lines, there are actually 8 angles formed. I have the top 4 here, bottom 4 here. If they tasked you with measuring the angles and comparing them, to measure out an angle that's not in a polygon, we can't use our little polygon measuring tool, we need to have 3 points. So suppose I wanted to measure this angle right here. I would measure angle K, N, and I need another point. So I'm going to use my little point tool and just add on points here that I can use when I'm labeling the angles to tell Geogebra which angles I'm interested in. So if I want angle ONK, I actually want to trace it from K to N to O, because if I trace it the other way, it's going to give me the large angle here and not the acute angle 66.27. So, for example, here's what I would not want to do. If I wanted this angle here, I do not trace out M and J. You see, it gives me the wrong angle. Okay, so whenever you have a sketch that's not a polygon and you cannot use this polygon then measuring tool here, just give yourself an extra point and then you can measure those angles, and you can see that as you change any of your lines, let's see here, I can drag this here, it will be dynamic and change the measurement as the actual angle itself changes.